What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. Guys, a lot of blogs are reporting some information about details concerning that of Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. And I know we've been hearing it, but you just keep hearing it more and more, that there's going to be some divorce proceedings coming soon. And if that divorce proceeding, if that comes, what we're looking at is Will Smith losing 50% of his assets. And again, this is all hearsay. People are running with this story, and I'm not sure of it. But I want to just talk about this in a different light, because if we look at Kevin Samuels, who has recently passed, the reason why men didn't want to get married, one, was the entitlement issue. Okay. You have a lot of women out there who could actually be marrying men that are in their same social class and maybe work together with that man and then move up the class, but they felt that they were too good for that particular person. So they want to go ahead and marry up, when the reality is the guy that wants to marry that is up there already doesn't want somebody maybe of that caliber. So this kind of entitlement in this sort of situations with women where they think they don't need to cater to a man's needs are not important, or what a man's desires are not important. Only thing that's important is them. So that has been one fundamental problem with that. Let me kind of go to the second thing. And the second thing deals with divorce proceedings. Now, I know what guys are going to say. Well, there are prenuptial agreements. And shout out to the lead attorney, because he is much more versed than me than I am when it comes to this. But let's suppose that this particular woman can say, well, I was forced to sign that agreement, or I was not, cognitive at the time, or I was inebriated or something like that. And, trying to put some shit in the game, like you saw with Dr. Dre and his wife, Nicole Young, and he ended up having to settle for a lot of money for the divorce to go through. And so when you look at men now, with the way things are, is it worth getting married to a woman who could possibly take 50% without a prenup, or with the prenup still, there's some danger of what can happen during the marriage? And I'm pretty sure that the lead attorney could shed more light on it, but I think this is what it is. And for many men in America who are facing the first situation, which is some level of entitlement, or fighting to be a man in the relationship, or two, divorce courts or family courts favoring women in almost every state in America, what do these guys get for their vows? I mean, you work, you build businesses, you build homes. I've heard horror stories of men getting cheated on. They file for divorce. They still got to pay half, split assets. They created the assets, not her. What do you get? You get a shit show. You get the American court systems when it comes to this. Like, this is the problem that you're seeing here. And how do you expect from, if the celebrities are getting hit, and I understand that, like Will Smith can lose a half his fortune and still, or 60% of his fortune and still be rich. I know Jeff Bezos did that, like in 2020, he lost a lot of money and then he gained all of it back during that pandemic. But what about the normal guy? The normal average American man, or the black man, who, you found out that you married this delusional wife. You hate being with her. You've got yourself so sick. You're probably in a sexless marriage, and you're just, every time you see her, you just want to throw up. like literally in your mouth. And you're like, some of you guys are just drinking yourself to death because you can't stand her. And you ask most guys, been married 15, 20 years, would you do it again? Everybody almost says, hell no. Every guy. Been in the game 15, 20 years. Would you do it again? No. So then my question is, with what's happening in our country, and you see what's going on in other countries, and you see China's getting stronger. You're seeing these other countries that, that people are more married. You see their men becoming a little bit more masculine than what you're seeing in our country. How do you expect that our country is going to be able to compete when you have people who don't even want to marry each other? Okay? People are being outpriced of neighborhoods, literally. No more starter homes in America. There are some states that you just like, well, I could never even live there anymore. California, forget about it. Not even part of California, the whole goddamn state. It's too expensive. Forget about it. Washington State, stop playing. Idaho for Boise, stop. Atlanta used to be cheap. Go there now, please. Go play in traffic or something. You know, you had a better chance of doing that than finding an affordable house in a decent part of Atlanta now. Where are people going to end up going? Kansas? Missouri? Oklahoma? Yes. Detroit? Yes. Cleveland? Yes. Okay? Because people can't even afford to stay there. Boston? Stop. New York City? Are you kidding me? DC? Be homeless. Hawaii? We're not even going to talk about Hawaii. Like, let's not joke here. And we know that married couples typically help buy these assets. Single women can't afford to stay in Boston like they used to be able to. So what happens to the American family? Guys don't want to ask the question anymore. You know, you have all these people, feminists and toxic masculinity, and all of these things that men are going through. Nobody's listening to it. But you expect that these men are going to still pop the question, continue to be berated in the public's eye? And if they have something to say that, you know, something's going to happen to them, they're going to be maybe vilified at their job or possibly never get promoted. Shout out to T.S. Johnson. Like, what do you guys think's going to happen? Guys are not going to want to do it. That's why the pump and dump culture is becoming much more popular these days. Men don't even want to risk being engaged or being married anymore. Because they're going to think of, okay, well, at some point here, I expect her to change and for her to lose it all. And I'm going to lose it all. And that is exactly what this JADA and Will experiment is saying. It's not worth it to the average guy. Now, I know that this is not every relationship, but I think we've seen this dynamic too often. And if America doesn't get this stuff right, America's going to fall and degrade even much more than it already is. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell, check out the first comment at the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains at all-time high. I'm out.